Hi, everybody. I actually want to talk about quite possibly the most controversial video game ever made. That's Diablo Immortal. So, it got announced, I believe, in 2018 at BlizzCon, which, if you don't know this, I'm a humongous Blizzard fan. I mean, if it's not evident with, like, some of my World of Warcraft tattoos, I'm a big fan of that kind of video game stuff. Um, a lot of stuff that Blizzard's done in the in the recent years. A lot of people's had a lot of problems with it. I personally don't, and I'm gonna explain a little bit onto that as to why. I know a lot of people are probably gonna already get mad and dislike the video, and that's perfectly fine. But at least hear me out on it. I'm not gonna cover everything, of course, but I will try to mainly focus on Diablo Immortal and why I don't really care about what's going on with the game. So personally, I play a lot of mobile games every night before I go to bed. Pokemon Go is probably one of the bigger ones. I've been playing Pokemon Go since it launched. Never quit. I play it every single day. I never miss a day. And I've spent too much money on Pokemon Go. And I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, well, these mobile games are like predatory. They like to prey on people in their wallets." Which, look, I can understand that,
The
but I mean,
shadows rise
realistically,
against
what
you,
isn't?
monster. I
Everything
am
is
injured.
predatory these days.
Better.
So the same people that'll sit there and complain about these mobile games, like, oh, they're just like preying on you because you're dumb and you're gonna spend 99 cents on getting an upgrade. Well, I mean, to be fair, a vending machine will sit there and hold out chocolate to you for $1, which is pretty bad for your health, but people will sit there and buy it anyways because they got the food craving. And it's not quite lunch yet, you know? And it's just, to me, I don't really see much of a difference in between the two. So the same people who sit there and complain about like microtransactions in video games will go to McDonald's, for instance. And you can't sit there and tell me like one's bad for you but the other one's acceptable. Like we turn a blind eye to specific things. And I know a lot of people are gonna sit there and call me a Blizzard whale or whatever, and I personally don't give a fuck. Like that doesn't bother me like at all. I get a lot of people mad at me every time World of Warcraft has a new store mount. I always buy it. Like I don't think I've missed a single one. I've gotten every single store mount in the game. Why do I buy them? Because I love my game. It does not matter to me in the slightest about making an extra purchase on it. The game makes me happy, and that's why I play the game. I don't play these games to, this is the new game. We must play it now and like forget about when the next one comes out. That's not me, dude. Like I play Blizzard games. Diablo Immortal, I've been waiting for it, and I played a little bit of it at BlizzCon for 2019, and I thought it was pretty fucking cool. I liked it. There was nobody really playing it and testing it out though, and that's kind of the funny part about it. So whenever it got announced for PC, I was just kind of like, well, that's probably the best idea you could have done. But here's the thing. Now, I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen, and
I need a corpse for that.
it did happen. The microtransactions in this game are just the most disgusting thing ever. Apparently, I think they were Redditors, did the math on it. In order to get your character fully maxed out, it's going to cost about $100,000. Which sounds crazy, right? Like Blizzard is probably the most greediest company in the world to ever, do something like this, but I don't care because I'm not one of those people that plays these games where I just have to be the best of the best of the best. And anybody that gets mad about this shit, you know damn well like 99.9% of them aren't going to try to go for that as well. You're going to play this game for a little bit. You're going to get bored of it in a couple weeks because it happens anytime a new video game gets announced. I think the only time I've ever seen a game come out that did not have that effect was Overwatch. But I only mainly play like Blizzard games and Pokemon games and Nintendo. But when Overwatch came out, it was phenomenally huge for a very long time until Blizzard started like kind of messing up. Which I will admit that they did do that. I'm not gonna be naive about that, of course. But when it came to like Diablo 3, I fucking love Diablo 3. I thought the auction house was a great idea because I made money on that. I know a lot of people got upset about it, but I'm just like, just sell the shit that you get and make some money because somebody's gonna buy it. And guess what? People bought it. I know a lot of people were like making fun of this one guy. He bought like a pair of pants or something for like $2,000. Now, like, if it's a substitute to actually getting a real job, and your entire job is farming gear in Diablo 3, then who cares? So when Diablo Immortal comes out and there's all these microtransactions, which look, I've spent a couple dollars on it. I'm not gonna lie about that, but it doesn't bother me because if it's something I enjoy, I have no problem doing that kind of thing, you know? There's a mobile game that I play every single day. It's my favorite mobile game. It's called Archero. If you don't know what Archero is, PewDiePie did a video about it one time. That's kind of what got me into the game in the first place. I wanted to play Archero because I thought it was cool. And I played every single day, and god damn it, if I don't sit there and collect everything I can every single time I log into that stupid game, it'll make your fucking head spin, dude. But Archero, I would say, is pretty fucking predatory when it comes to that kind of thing. Because they'll sit there and give you a bundle for some stupid item you may or may not need, but it'll charge you like $80 to get the damn thing, and it's not even worth it. So at least with Diablo, I'm making progression, you know? Like, that's probably why I don't really care too much about it. Also, I don't really get mad about, things like this in the game. If it was a forced mandatory thing to pay for it, I'd probably be singing a different tune right now. But the fact that it's a optional microtransaction, who cares? And I know a lot of people are going to get mad, but it's like a lot of these people were never going to play this game in the first place. So what are you mad about a microtransaction? I don't get it. And you're so worried that all these games are going to be like this in the future, which I can understand. That seems to be a reasonable thing to be upset about. But if you don't buy the game, if you just choose not to play these games that cost all this extra money for microtransactions and stuff, these companies are going to learn. Like, what was that Star Wars game that came out a couple years ago? And there was a bundle. I think it was an EA game, right? Somebody might know what I'm talking about, but there was, in order to play like Darth Vader or something, you had to pay like $200 or some shit to unlock him, and people lost their collective fucking mind about it. But you know what? EA ended up backtracking. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's just part of their strategy. They're going to sit there and be like, oh, look, we're listening to the players. Maybe they will. Maybe it'd be a good way to like counteract, horrible PR. I don't know. I mean, I could see why people would think that, of course, but I mean, the way I see it, a lot of these games are going to come out and do stuff like this because they know the Twitch streamers are going to get involved and it's going to be good publicity, no matter what kind of negative response you get back. And if you actually check the Apple Store, as of last night, Diablo Immortal's pretty much got nearly a 5-star. The game is amazing. The game is fun as hell. I love playing this game. I'm not very far into it, of course, but I mean, that's fine because I played the fuck out of Diablo 3. And it's pretty much Diablo 3. I never played Diablo 1 or 2, but I mean, for what it is, I think the game is fun. It's great. I love it. I love that I can play the Necromancer because that was my favorite part of Diablo 3. And it does not bother me in the slightest, man. Because guess what? I am able to just say, I don't need to buy this. I'm capable of doing such a thing. And it's kind of funny to me that all these YouTubers and Twitch streamers and people on the forums are just acting as if this is some kind of impossible feat where you'd be stupid not to spend the $39.99 on like an 8,000% XP boost or whatever. Just say no. That's all you gotta do. Just don't buy it. I'm gonna, for the most part, play this free to play because I mean it's whatever. I'm not gonna try to beat this game or become the best world rank 1 or whatever. I'm gonna play this game casually, especially since I can play it on my phone. I mean, why would I take it serious? It's just fucking Diablo. It's a hack and slash dungeon crawler, you know? It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I mean, look, like I said, I can understand why people are gonna get mad about this, but the way I see it is Blizzard's gonna like charge all this shit at the very get-go because they know the Twitch streamers and YouTubers are gonna be playing this game for content, and they're gonna be like buying shit, and they're gonna be making a lot of money. It's a very smart business practice. They're gonna make all this money off of it, and then after I don't know, like a month or two, they'd be like, "Oh look, we're listening to the players. We're not gonna do it." And when hey, that's great, but they're gonna make money at the get-go. At the very start of it, they're gonna be making bank, and I mean, I gotta respect the hustle. So, like I said, I've spent maybe I don't even know, like maybe less than $10 on this game already. I probably won't go more than $50 in the grand total of things. I don't really personally care. It's a free-to-play game. It costs you nothing to buy, and I mean, to me, that's perfectly fine. I literally just bought Mario Party All Stars like a couple hours ago, and the grand total with that and paying for my online account with Nintendo, it cost me about $70. I had fun playing it, but I know I'm gonna have more fun playing a free-to-play Diablo game than I will with Mario Party. Mario Party is one of those games that's only fun if you play with other people. Diablo, you don't have to play with other people to have fun. That's the mindset I go into it with. And I know that's not for everybody, and that's perfectly fine, but I don't speak for everybody, I speak for myself. So things that I find acceptable and things that I like and enjoy, that's for me, that's not for you. If you got a problem with it, I don't really care. That's your problem. I'm not here to tell you what's right, what's wrong. If you don't want to play this game, don't play it. Who cares? I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna have fun. So that's pretty much where I'm getting at on this. I mean, there's other things that Blizzard's done. Obviously, like the whole scandal last year. I personally don't give a fuck about that either because I live in California and I understand a lot of things are not like how people perceive them to be, like the sexual harassment shit. Like in California, fun fact, if you stand in a doorway for just a little too long, that's considered sexual harassment. Or somebody eavesdrops on your conversation and they get assaulted or get offended or whatever, that's sexual harassment, which is just stupid. And I have no doubt because I made a video on my old YouTube channel where I was talking about this stuff, and an actual WoW developer from Warlords of Draenor, one of the WoW expansions, saw the video and confirmed everything I said was true, that a bunch of left-wing people joined the company and they kind of took over. And he said that the company started going to shit, and that's about that time period when the shit was actually starting to happen. And because of a lot of these people, which I have no doubt this is part of the problem, is a lot of these people want to get offended and try to change shit, and that's why we get bowls of fruit and Karazhan instead of like half-naked women hanging up on the wall. If you know anything about that, that's something that happened in Blizzard. Now we're getting rid of all the sexual window in the windows, and they're changing Garrosh's voice lines where you can't call Sylvanas a bitch, and it's just fucking crazy. But this is the world we're living in now, so it's whatever. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff with Blizzard. I personally don't care about 99% of it because it has nothing to do with me. And I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I'm some kind of brave activist and think my opinion matters and is going to change the world and the gaming industry, because it's not. It's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care. I know I'm a terrible person, but the same people that get upset about this stuff, they have no problem buying an iPhone or shopping at Walmart. And face it, we all know where those phones come from, and we all know who's really making these clothes overseas. So you can't sit there and get mad about one company and ignore the other one, or like, oh, I can't believe Blizzard would treat their employees this way as I shop on Amazon, when we know how Amazon treats their workers. So you can't sit there and get upset about one and ignore everything else. You can't get mad about microtransactions when you buy from a vending machine, because it's basically gambling with that as well. I got into an argument about that earlier with somebody because they were telling me it's not gambling with the vending machine. I'm like, isn't it though? Just because you buy something from the vending machine does not mean you're going to get that. I can't tell you how many times I buy Pop Tarts at work for lunch or breakfast or whatever, and like 3/4 of the time I get the Pop Tart. Basically, a quarter of the time, not so much. It never wants to drop. And it cost me another dollar just to get another Pop Tart, just to get the first Pop Tart. If that's not gambling, I don't know what is. But I'm also not one of those people that's going to sit there and attack one thing and turn a blind eye to everything else. I don't do that. So it's either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. That's the way I look at things. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. If you think I'm crazy or whatever, I don't really care. It's just a fun conversation. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.